yeah, definitely back end wants to come around a little quicker than I'm used to because of the extra weight, so it definitely wants to tip over quicker, which is alright. You just got to get used to what the bike's going to do with the heavier weight now, so still a fun bike. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Excited to have you guys with me. Today's kind of a big day for us. We are going to go on a test ride today. We're going to be checking out our gear setup for the big Continental Divide route, 3,200 miles off-road, Mexico to Canada. Should be awesome. But today is the first time I've had everything packed on the bike, so it's basically to make sure everything's set up, ready to go, and we don't have any issues. So we're going to find out if everything runs good today. So stay tuned. Here we go. Here we go. First official ride off-road with all the gear. Fully loaded bike. Bike's definitely a little bit heavier, but it's definitely actually smoother on the freeway with all the gear loaded down. It's just it just tracked better on the freeway, which is good. So we'll see how this thing does on fully loaded. Not completely. Go for it. All right, back on the road. So yeah, we're heading out today. Got all the gear on the bikes today, fully loaded. Clint's got most of his gear, minus a couple things, but at least he's out kind of getting used to the bike with the weight. So he's new to adventure bikes, so he's definitely kind of trying to get as comfortable as quick as he can on the bigger bikes. So it should be good. So we'll follow him for a little bit and let him set the pace, and then we'll jump ahead, do our thing, and then wait for him. We go back and forth. We're gonna try and get like a couple hours in today. Hopefully, ideally I wanted to get 100 miles, but we'll probably get like probably 60 miles in today. Be a good start. About 20 to 30 miles off road, so should be a good day. So. Yeah, these Mosko Moto bags are so nice. He's got when you go on a 4,000 mile ride and you're gonna live off the bike for a couple weeks, it's nice to have a good set of bags that are rugged, can handle a few laydowns, but also still fit all your gear. It's kind of amazing how much gear you have to kind of bring to live off the bike. You know, when you start talking about bringing food, a kitchen, clothes, tools. So there's going to be 4 of us on this ride. So we're trying to split some of the stuff up, but I mean, everybody's kind of got to bring their own food. Everybody's got to bring their own clothes. So I'm bringing tools. I'm doing all the tools along with one other guy. He's in charge of tools as well. So we have 2 sets of tools. And then Clint, for example, he's going to be doing the kitchen stuff. So he's bringing us like a pot and some barbecue stuff to cook meals at night. He's also he's a nurse, and we're both medics. So he'll be doing the first aid stuff. So he's got a big first aid kit. We all have our small, little, tiny first aid kits, personal ones, but he's got all the big stuff. I mean, shoot, pretty sure we have almost an operating room with us with what he's bringing. So should be pretty fun. That was kind of a dick move. Kind of feel bad. So, get comfortable standing up on the bikes. This is kind of a good trail to kind of get comfortable on the bikes with. Some of the local fire roads up the other mountain are definitely a lot more used with trucks and whatnot, so they're just destroyed with, you know, upturned rocks and loose gravel, and they're actually they're not hard, but they definitely aren't super enjoyable to run. Once we get into the Colorado, Idaho area, a lot of the roads there are pretty much like this. Actually, probably quite a bit smoother than this. Pretty smooth off-road sections. We're definitely take some of the harder routes for sure, but a lot of the roads are being pretty smooth, so this is good practice for them. Climbing up pretty quick. Scar. All this burned a couple years ago. It's still barely growing back. Kind of crazy how long it takes around here because you don't get much rain and water, so the hills tend to stay burned for a while around here. So yeah, between the 2 bikes, I actually had that same exact bike, the KTM 1090R, and then I actually sold it to buy this one to see what all the hype was about. Obviously, I'm very happy with the change. Although that 1090R is a great bike, I would say the Tenere 700 is more geared towards off-road, where the KTM is kind of more of a mix. It's definitely a little more comfortable on the long highway sections. Quite a bit more digital stuff on it, so it has ABS traction control, which this does, but you can control it more. You can turn off front ABS versus rear. You have different drive modes. On that one you have like off-road mode, sport mode, street mode, and it's a little bit more powerful. I think that one sits just over 100 horsepower, but this one's only 75. But like I've said in my other videos, I think this one is actually, I feel like is more usable power. It's got a bigger torque band to it, so you aren't having to change gears as much to stay in that band. As I say that as I switch gears, but we're slowing down a little bit. But yeah, I know they're definitely both for adventure bikes. I would say these two bikes are some of the best. The new 890, the guys we're going with, they have the new 890 KTM 890s Adventures. For me, I just think they're ugly. I'm sure they're great bikes. I'm sure they have tons of technology on them, new TFT screens. You know, they're awesome bikes, but I just honestly, I just feel like they just don't look as good with that low tank. They kind of look like a big old bumblebee or something, which I know serves its purpose. Having all that fuel down low like that makes it definitely probably a lot better to ride with a lower center of gravity. I've heard the suspension on them is great, so they're definitely probably a little bit better out of the box. Where on the Tenere, you kind of have to spend a little bit of money to, you know, get the suspension dialed in and things like that. But all in all, yeah, I think it's gonna be a good group of guys. There's 4 of us going, and kind of two KTM 890s, the 1090 that Clint's on, and then my Tenere 700. So well, sometimes you gotta see how far you get that rear end around before you fall. I was right on the edge of that one. It's the problem riding behind guys. Sometimes I get bored and I just do stupid things like that. So, so this is the corner that Clint fell in last time. Let's see if he can manage this one. Oh, way better this time. Look at that. Yeah, so it's definitely change of pace. This ride we're doing, every ride I've pretty much done on this bike has always been a little higher pace, you know, kind of pushing the bike, see what it can do. You know, it's this ride's definitely going to be quite a bit more relaxed. I would slower at times, more scenic, which is good. It's just different. It's kind of hard to do these slow rides where we live in Southern California. It's not the most picturesque around here. It's still nice, it's still beautiful, great riding, but definitely not the most scenic around here. So usually I rely on going a little faster, having a little more fun, not worrying about the scenery. But where we're going on this big ride with all this gear, you know, we're going to be in some of the most beautiful countryside that the United States has to offer. Super high elevations, big mountain roads, beautiful rivers, lakes. So it's going to be just a different pace, which is good though. With a ride that long, you know, you gotta definitely have to kind of pace yourself. You don't want to mess the bike up, hurt yourself, especially when you're out in the middle of nowhere. So it's a little different pace for sure. So. One thing I gotta kind of figure out though is definitely my throttle wrist tends to go numb. My fingers get numb a lot. I don't know if it's just the way I hold onto the throttle, if it's the bend in the bars, but yeah, that's something I might battle this whole trip. I'm not that I don't have enough time to switch out bars, but I'm not sure what to go with. I don't want to make it worse, so I think I'll just kind of deal with what I got going. So Just got to get better about loosening my grip on the throttle, I think. So. Definitely looks a bit more comfortable today on the bike. Actually, the first ride we did when he got that bike, before he had any gear on it or anything like that, but the first ride he did on was up this road, and I think he's only ridden the bike off-road a handful of times. But the first ride he did was on this road, and he definitely he struggled quite a bit more. He fell actually, I think, 2 times, which is okay. You know, getting used to a big bike like that, you just gotta kind of sort out the weight and how they react and stuff. But he definitely looks a little more comfortable this time, and we've been averaging about 20-25 miles per hour, which is pretty good for a road like this. It doesn't look like it, but it's actually pretty slick. There's just a real loose, it's a hard pack underneath, but it's just a real fine, loose top layer to it that if you're not too careful, it kind of gets a little slippery. Especially on these bigger bikes, it doesn't take much throttle to break the tires loose for sure. So yeah, he's definitely doing quite a bit better on it. So. One thing I've learned on these bigger bikes, I try to tell him, is you have to use your body weight a lot more on these bikes. You really got to move your hips side to side when you have turns that you really need to get around quicker or get the bike leaned into. You got to really put your weight on the outside of the bike and move your hips more. And he's obviously used to just road bikes or street bikes, whatever you want to call them. And some smaller dirt bikes where you don't necessarily have to do that, or you don't have to think about it as much because it's a smaller seat on a dirt bike. So on these bikes, you definitely have to move around a little more if you want to get a good tight turn in with the extra weight. You know, come to the outside. It stops the back end from wanting to come around on you. So. Jump ahead of him real quick. Definitely a lot more weight on the bike now. Definitely rides a little different, not as it's still maneuverable, but you definitely have to kind of work the bike a little bit more. Definitely back end wants to come around a little quicker than I'm used to because of the extra weight, so it definitely wants to tip over quicker, which is alright. You just got to get used to what the bike's going to do with the heavier weight now. So still a fun bike. God. It's fun. Yay! Still, this bike puts a smile on my face every single time. It's crazy. Gonna wait for Clint here. Good. Cool. So that went well. He did good on that first section. So. Definitely says he feels quite a bit more comfortable on the bike now that we've done some upgrades to it. Put some bigger pegs on it for him. Changed his seat out. He had more of a touring type seat. More of a touring type seat, so he was kind of locked into his seat, so he couldn't move his hips back and forth. The bigger pegs. Yeah, so I think just all in all, those two upgrades really helped him feel more comfortable on the bike and be able to move around a little better. So it's crazy what big pegs will do for these bikes, just the bigger foot pegs. So. Jump off up here and take another dirt road section to see how this one is. So never been on this one, just mapped it out in the GPS to get some more dirt in today. See how Clint does on this one. So I'm not sure if it's downhill, uphill. I didn't take the time to bother to figure that out. So I gotta wait for him. Make sure he sees the turn off up here. Should be coming. All right, just finished the ride. Gear loadout's good. Clint did good. Bikes are in one piece. That's always a good start. But yeah, we got like 60 miles in, and I think everything's good. Bikes felt better. Actually, bikes felt better on the highway, which is nice. So they're a little dusty, dirty, but as can be expected. So yeah, I think we're good to go for the trip. We got about 3 weeks to do any final stuff. Right, Clint?
Right on, dude.
Woo! Yeah. See you guys in the next one. Like, subscribe, whatever all that YouTube stuff is. Later.